So it may be that you don't see some of the questions on my comments, but people are coming on the side, inboxing me and asking me these questions. So I thought I'll bring them back to the channel in case there are more people who are wanting to know the same things, or more people who are having the same questions is just haven't asked, or more people are still going to come on the channel and have similar questions. I figured I'll just compile a short list of frequently asked questions. I've been asked who needs to undertake the English exam. Is it IELTS? Is it required for a nurse, or is it for care workers? The answer to this is straightforward. It doesn't necessarily have to be IELTS, but any proof of proficiency of English is required, be it for nurses or healthcare assistants. There is an alternative to IELTS. This IELTS we're talking about all the time stands for, it's important that you know these acronyms, International English Language Test System. So there is an alternative to that, which is NARIC. NARIC is mainly for someone who's done a degree in their home country, and you can actually, there's a website where you can submit your proof of your degree, your transcript, and things like that, and especially if you've done it in English, and your knowledge and English proficiency will be verified and tested according to your qualifications. And if it's fine, within 15 working days, you should be getting confirmation that you have fulfilled that expectation of the English proficiency, and you do not need to sit for IELTS. And then IELTS, on the other hand, comprises of 4 elements, where your speaking ability, your reading ability, writing, and listening get tested. And there's an average scoring that you need to achieve. For healthcare assistants, they're accepting, this is for immigration purposes, mind you, not even for your employer. So the scoring that's acceptable for your immigration purposes is a banding of 4.5. If you are a nurse or any other professional, you will need to undertake the academic one, and the scoring, because of the Nursing and Midwifery Council, is slightly higher. I think it's about 7. It used to be slightly higher than that, and it was lowered. I will verify before this video goes live. On to FAQ number 2, what experience is required? This is coming up quite a lot. If you do not have that formal experience where you've worked in a formal care setting, there are a number of ways employers are looking to meet you halfway and take what knowledge you have as experience. For example, it's detailed that if you have taken care of an ill relative or a family member or somebody that you know that you have taken care in that particularly chronic kind of care that you've provided for someone, that counts for something. If you've taken care, for example, of a child with disabilities or learning disability, it could well be your child. If you're taking care of such a child currently, or you have in the past, that counts as experience. I've also had correspondence from companies such as Novo who've said if you have experience in retail where you've dealt with customers and interacted with customers, they will look into that and provide you with on-the-job training to make sure that you are compatible with the job specification. All they're interested in is just to see that you're able to interact with people and you're able to communicate and engage in a meaningful way. Someone asked, what should I put on my CV? So there's a dedicated video that I've already done on this subject already. So please familiarize yourself, because it covers more detail than I'm going to cover now. Your CV should be so concise, to the point, brief, no more than 2 pages. Keep it simple. Don't forget your personal statement or your profile. Keep it brief. Don't forget to leave things such as references out. For that, you can just say references available on request. This will make your CV shorter and make sure that you add relevant references at the right time, as well as informing them at the right time that now you're ready to be referenced. So eliminate that. Things such as hobbies, they're in the past. You don't put those. Perhaps if the interview is going so well, they might make for conversation on the day of the interview live, but don't add those on your CV. They just make it longer than it should be unnecessarily. Highlight the points that the job spec is referring to, the job specification, the experience that is needed according to the advert, according to the post that you're responding to. Use those words in your CV. They need to come up. It needs to show responsiveness, that you're actually responding to a job that has been advertised. It could just mean altering your CV from time to time to custom make it, not all the time, but at least to make it fit or mold around the requirements of the client in order for you to show your responsiveness to their needs and your relevance as well. I may just say watch this space, as I plan to feature a highly experienced and highly qualified HR personnel, HR manager rather, who has many years of experience in human resources. She has hired, she has fired, she sees CVs, she does interviews. So she's been in this field for quite some time. So we could all benefit from her insights and hear things from a perspective of someone who's in HR as opposed to speaking from the outside. So it's something I'm working on. So stay tuned, as you will, and I will as well, benefit from my own growth from her insights. She is highly experienced and comes highly recommended. Look out for that feature. So on to the next question. A question reads, how much do carers earn? This is a great question, since money is one of the motivators when it comes to embarking on this kind of journey. So for this particular drive, as I said in other videos, the government has set a minimum wage of 20,400 for care assistants before you get issued with your visa to come and work over here, which in South African rands is around 400,000 roughly plus. Please convert it to your currency wherever you're watching from. But 20,400 is the minimum. And once you are here, from April 2022, the minimum wage for any adult over the age of 23 in the UK is £9.50. And again, this depends on location. For central areas such as London, it could be higher, as in £10.10 or something to that effect, but slightly higher than it is on the outskirts. But there is a minimum wage for all the adults above the age of 23. So carers' salary will be guided by that. And again, it will depend on who you are working for. Some agencies will pay a higher rate. I've seen agencies pay care workers around £12 during the day, maybe £15 per hour at night, and more on weekends and holidays. It just depends who you're working for, but it will be in the range with a minimum of 9.5 per hour outside of this package or remuneration package that you would have been offered. Another person asked, will I be able to survive on this salary? So based on information out there, it's generally thought that a single person who lives outside of London can survive on £500 to £900 per month. So yes, on the salary, you will be able to survive. You may need to do additional shifts according to your requirements, according to your needs, as you get used to adapting to this new life. But yes, particularly if you're outside of London, but then again, being inside London, there's an extra amount of money that you get paid. So do ask all these questions should you get to interview stage as to where is your location, where is it in relation to London. It's not a deal breaker. There's a good life outside of London and there's good life in London. So I'd be glad for getting just an opportunity. The rest you can figure out later. And just to add that you get paid that extra amount in London because the cost of living is so much more higher than it is in the outlying areas. So someone wanted to know if you can renew your visa after 3 years. The answer is definitely yes, provided you have respected the conditions of your visa and have remained with the same employer, have not violated any of the conditions. So it's important to familiarize yourself with the conditions of your visa, the do's and don'ts. It's a video that will be coming up shortly as to how to remain within the conditions of your visa and so that your renewal is seamless. So someone wanted to know if they can bring their dependents on this visa. Absolutely yes, you can. You can bring a spouse as well as your children under the age of 18. They can join you. At this stage, there are no in-laws that have been stated. Those are not allowed yet, but your immediate family, such as your children under the age of 18, as well as your spouse, can join you on this visa, which is such a great thing. At this stage, you kind of know the drill so well. You know to subscribe, you know to click like, to share the content with someone that might benefit from it, and to comment below. There are so many more frequently asked questions which I am not going to cover because I've covered them adequately in the other videos, in the previous videos. If I have missed any of the ones that you've asked me on the side, please drop me a line and let me know if I've not covered it adequately. Otherwise, do not forget to share, like, and subscribe as we remain with the cusp and evolve. If I add additional questions, it will just make this video unnecessarily long, and I'm trying to keep the videos concise, to the point, with less yada yada and more ching ching moves. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay tuned as we evolve together on the cusp.